We are back in session. Parties and council are present. All members are joining. Our alternates are present. And Mr. Hines, you may resume your examination.
Thank you. So those CAD inquiries or premise histories from your CAD system, can they be altered or changed once they're entered?
Yes, sir.
Well, if a fact changes or information changes, then how is it corrected in that system?
Either the deputy will enter it in again with the correction, or they'll request for dispatch to enter it in.
As an amendment?
Correct. It would still show both, though. It would show the error one and then the new one.
And there are times in your job as a deputy, a detective, or now a sergeant, you rely on that information that is recorded at the time in that CAD system, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to show you a couple of exhibits. Exhibit number 416. Do you recognize that multi-page document?
Yes, sir.
And what is it?
This is our San Diego County Sheriff's Department CAD entry
And that specifically is a CAD entry for what?
for the data of February 15th, which is the call that I received.
Okay. I'm going to show you exhibit number 415. Do you recognize it?
Yes, sir. Also a San Diego County Sheriff's Department CAD entry
And for what?
for February 14th for a welfare check.
To that same house on Avocado Vista Lane?
Yes, sir.
No objection, Your Honor, it's hearsay at that point.
Overruled.
And exhibit number 414, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir. Also a CAD entry, San Diego Sheriff's Department.
For what date?
This date is February 10th, 2010.
February 10th, 2010?
Correct, February 10th, 2010.
For what?
This is a welfare check at 3473 Avocado Vista Lane in Fall River, Rainbow.
And for a welfare check, would your CAD system, whoever received the information, put in their source of information, like a caller or witness?
Yes, anytime anybody calls into our dispatch center, they receive the name and phone callback number or the subject for the reporting party.
On that last one from February 10th, was Michael McStay the caller of that welfare check?
May I open it up and...
Please, you can take it out and inspect it if you need to.
According to this CAD entry, he was not the reporting party.
Who was the reporting party?
According to the CAD entry, it states a Dan Kavanaugh,
From where?
states Hawaii.
Thank you. Last, I wanted to ask you let me gather these exhibits first. Just leave it out. And when you first spoke to Mr. McStay, Michael McStay, and you were gathering information, did he give you some information that he felt he shouldn't tell you?
Yes.
Was it significant enough for you to actually write it down as a direct quote?
Yes.
What was that information he told you?
Objection, hearsay.
Past recollection recorded.
Council approach with the reporter. You may proceed in line with the court's ruling at the bench.
Thank you. Sergeant Tingley, isn't it true that Michael told you, and you noted in your report, Michael said Merritt told him Joseph's PayPal account had not been touched?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Cross.
Good afternoon, Sergeant.
Good afternoon, sir.
Now, when you first met with Mr. McStay at the station, was he by himself?
I don't believe so. I believe his wife was with him.
And did you speak to the wife?
If my report doesn't reflect it, then I did not speak with her.
If you look through the first few pages where you list out the important parties, would the person's name be contained within there if you spoke to them?
Not necessarily. Most of the time, if the name is in the name section, then yeah, they could be spoken to, but sometimes we just put in all the information so that they're in there, just in case somebody else needs to talk to them. So that clarifies your question.
And if their name is not there, then what's that mean?
If their name's not in the report,
If not in those confidentiality front pages.
then either A, I didn't speak to that person, or B, I didn't put them in that section. And that would be the only two reasons why you wouldn't have it in there.
So you spoke with Mr. McStay and you decided to have him come to the station, correct?
Yes.
Did you direct him, you need to come here?
I don't believe I directed him. I believe that he stated he was coming down, and I said, can we meet at the station so we can go over all this?
So he came on his own volition.
Correct. He was already, stated he was already going to be coming down to Fallbrook.
Now, when you spoke to Mr. McStay, he told you he had been there previously, correct?
That is correct.
And he told you it was either the 4th or the 6th.
I'd have to look at the report. I believe he tried to contact him on the 4th or the 6th. I don't know if he actually went to the residence on the 4th and the 6th.
If reviewing page 19 of your report, second paragraph, you think that would help refresh your memory?
Yes, sir.
Could you please do so and let us know when you're done?
Can you repeat the page number again, please?
Page 19 of 21, second paragraph.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to show me because I don't believe I'm seeing where you're looking.
I'm looking at page number 6254.
Sorry, this is, okay. The second paragraph?
Second paragraph, second one, paragraph at the top.
Okay.
Does that refresh your memory?
Yes, sir.
What did Mr. McStay tell you?
That he drove to Fallbrook on the dates of 2/4 or 2/6, 2010.
And do you see, oh, please, right there. And then when you talked to Mr. McStay, did he tell you that he came back again on the 13th?
Yes.
And then on that day, he crawled through a window?
Yes.
And so what Mr. McStay told you is the day he went to the house with you on the 15th, that would be the third day he was there.
That would be correct. Yes.
Now, when you met Mr. McStay at the residence, and you drove separate, and you asked him to open the house by crawling through the back window. Correct? Well, let me say it this way. At some point, it was decided he would enter the house through the back window.
That is correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you help him through the window?
I did not.
Why not?
He said he's already crawled through the window once, so I don't believe I needed to assist him crawling through the window.
And you went through the house checking for, to see if any persons were within sight, correct?
Yes.
And if I can have, I think it's Attorney 3 broadcast. I'm going to show you Exhibit 11. And this shows Exhibit 11. This was the picture you took, correct?
Yes.
And this would be the office that's kind of behind the kitchen on the first floor?
Well, it's an office. I couldn't tell you if it was behind the kitchen or not, sir.
Do you know if that's the window that Mr. McStay climbed through?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Now, according to this picture, it appears that the lamp is on, correct?
Yes.
Now, what made you take this picture?
I just took photos of what I believe to be important for the case. I'm not real sure exactly. I believe I tried to take one photo of each room.
And I will show you Exhibit 12. And we went over this picture, correct, with on direct?
Yes.
And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I can do that. That is the. It's dark on that screen, but you can see it on the monitor, correct?
Yes, sir. I can see it right here.
It may be helpful for the jurors to probably view the monitor versus the screen because the projector's not as bright. You can see the desk here has a lamp on it, correct?
That is correct.
It appears to you that the lamp is on or off.
From this photo, it appears to be off from the photo.
And this, I believe we clarified, was a upstairs room from direct. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
On Exhibit 13, there was another empty room with, you didn't know what that was in the right corner, correct?
That is correct.
But there's no lamp in this room, or light that you can see.
Correct.
Exhibit 14, this was the one where you referenced 2 beds on the floor and a lamp knocked over.
Yes, sir.
Does the lamp appear to be on?
From this photo, I couldn't tell you if it's on or off. It doesn't appear to be on from the photo.
And the TV, does the TV appear to be on?
From the photo, it appears to be off.
Do you recall it having any sound coming out of it to show it was on when you swept the house?
I do not.
Going to Exhibit 15. This was the picture of the bathroom, correct?
Yes, sir.
Does it appear to have any lights on that you can see?
No, sir.
Does it appear to be done by, picture was taken by natural light?
Yes, sir.
And with that being the master closet that's seen in the mirror in the top center of that photograph, correct?
I wouldn't be able to tell you if that's the master closet or not, sir.
Does it appear to be a light in that, through that doorway?
No, sir.
And picture 16. This was a closet, correct, that you took a photo of?
Yes, sir.
And the light up top. Does that light appear to be on?
No, sir.
And then picture 17. This is a picture you took, you said, at the top of the stairs looking down.
Yes, sir.
Does the shadows, does that indicate to you there are probably no lights on in that stairwell?
Objection calls for speculation.
It doesn't appear from this photo that there's any lights on in that room.
Why did you take this photo?
Like I said, I was trying to take a photo of each room. I believe that when I walked up the stairs, I turned around and wanted to just take a photo of looking down into the living room, or into the dining room, if you would call.
Kitchen, dining room, kind of great room.
Yes, sir.
Did you take a picture of that room?
If you don't have a photo of it, I didn't take a picture of it. I believe I only took a few photos before I exited the residence, or it was turned over to homicide.
Now, when you walked in that kitchen, living room area, and I will zoom in on this a little bit, does that look familiar, seeing drawers on the ground on paper?
From the photo, I couldn't tell you from, 8 years ago, but looking at the photo, it looks familiar from me taking the photo.
And then you see cabinet doors are part of the house taken and put on top of the countertop?
I couldn't tell you what that is, sir. It's definitely something.
And that looks to appear to be a plate with something on it also in the picture.
Yes, sir.
Then you have a smaller table and chair near the rear slider door.
Yes, sir.
And there appears to be a table on that first floor, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then it appears to be a coffee mug, the red thing.
Yes, sir.
Appears to be a calculator.
Yes, sir.
And then does that appear to be a black, note clipboard box?
That's what it appears to be, sir.
And would that be consistent with what something you would have carried around at that time?
Yes.
Does that help being zoomed in to identify it?
Well, no, but I believe that's what it was.
And when you swept through the house, did you have your partner with you still?
I believe the first time we went in, or the only time we went in, is with McStay. I don't believe I had my partner with me.
If I was to show you Deputy Hires, the Hire?
Yes, sir.
Hires report, would that maybe refresh your memory on whether or not he entered with you?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to approach with you 2166.
You can read this paragraph, which is I guess you can call it the third paragraph down, and let me know when you're done.
Yes, sir.
That refresh your memory?
Yes, sir.
And did Deputy Hire enter the home with you?
Yes, sir.
And so at least there was two of you doing a protective sweep?
Yes, sir.
Now, you noted on direct, when you were asked why did you call homicide, and you said there were particular things about the condition of the home that you thought further investigation was necessary?
I thought that a phone call to homicide was necessary, yes.
And some of the things you mentioned were plates of had eaten food.
I did state that, yes.
And it was a missing family of 4.
Yes, sir.
And that's not something that's normal. You may get one missing person, right?
Yes, sir.
Like my 15-year-old daughter hasn't been home in 2 days or something, right?
Yes.
But a whole missing family of 4 is not normal, you said.
It's not common.
Better word. And then also the information you received from Mr. McStay that his urgency that something was not right.
Is that a question, sir?
No, that's all of the information that came in your consideration?
Yes, sir.
Then you noted that the house was not fully unpacked. It's like people were living out of suitcases.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like as if they just got up and left.
Yes, sir.
you also said you will look for things, signs of violence, correct?
Yes,
Signs of a struggle.
yes,
Things you mentioned would be broken window,
possibility, yes,
broken furniture,
possibility,
blood,
yes.
and you would look for blood on the floor,
You would look anywhere you would think that the struggle might have occurred. If there was any sign of a struggle, those are the areas, you would look.
floor, walls, door jams,
Yes, sir.
things that people generally will come in contact or impact with.
Yes,
And you would look for forced entry,
yes.
and you didn't see any of those.
No, sir.
When you walked through that house, did anything about that house scream to you, this family of four was murdered in this home?
No, sir.
Is it fair to say it looked to you they left this house either voluntarily or against their will in a rush?
I'm sorry, can you restate the question?
From everything you saw, did it appear to you that if they're not home, they left that residence either on their own volition or against their will in a hurry?
I didn't know. I mean, when I went into that house, I couldn't tell you how they left. I could just tell you that it didn't seem right.
It didn't seem planned.
It didn't seem normal.
When you put your, listen, would you agree that's likely your clipboard on that table?
Like I said before, it could be my clipboard. If there was other photos and it wasn't in it, then most likely it is my clipboard, but I couldn't tell you at this point whether it is or isn't.
So if the next photo taken when homicide detectives came in, show that table and that clipboard's not there, then you're assuming it's yours.
Objection calls for speculation, lacks foundation.
Well, that was his.
If the clipboard is there in a homicide photograph, that doesn't not necessarily mean it's not mine. That clipboard could have been given to me after they have taken their photographs. Like I said, I don't know if that is or isn't mine, but there should be. I don't know. I couldn't tell you if that's mine or not mine.
If in the photograph taken by homicide it's not there, then would that make you lead to the conclusion that was likely yours?
Objection assumes facts not in evidence. There was a homicide photo taken shortly thereafter.
If that is your clipboard, would you have checked for blood on that table before putting your clipboard in?
If that is my clipboard and there was blood on the table, I would have never set it on the table.
You would have looked first.
Yes.
Now, when you determined that the homicide unit probably need to be involved, you left the premises. You left the residence, went outside.
Objection misstates his testimony.
I believe my statement was that I was in the residence when I made the phone call.
Right, but eventually you left
I might have stepped outside at some point in time, yes.
and secured the residence, that everybody come out until the units get here.
Yes.
And then after the units arrived, and you debriefed the homicide team that showed.
Yes, sir.
And then you determined, when going through the briefing, you realized you made a mistake, correct?
Describe the mistake.
You forgot to sweep the garage.
I believe that's what the report stated, yes.
Do you remember that you had to re-enter and do another sweep just to make sure it was clear?
I believe there was another entry into the residence to clear it and make sure that it was clear, yes.
And it was clear. correct?
Yes.
And when you went into the garage, did you find any signs of violence inside the garage?
Objection assumes facts, not evidence. That he went into the garage.
Did you check the garage the second time?
I don't recall.
After the homicide team went up, did you stay on scene and help them in their investigation?
I believe once they arrived, the information was received. I believe the units there were released so that we could write our reports.
So from your memory, after they took over the scene, you went to do what, as you said, your protocol was to go write your report for homicide unit to use.
Yes, sir. I don't know the time frame, but yes, that's what occurred.
Did you ever return again to assist the homicide unit?
I don't recall ever returning.
Just 1 second, Your Honor. You might be done. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything on redirect?
No, sir.
Any objection to Deputy Tingley being excused?
Nope.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir, for your attendance and your excuse.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And do we have another witness here? Or?
No, we made it through the list of witnesses for today, sir.
Good. So we'll quit maybe 10 minutes early.
I'm sure you'll object.
I don't think anyone will mind. All right, we'll go ahead and take our evening recess till 9:30 on Monday morning. Again, keep in mind the admonitions previously given to you, not to form or express any opinions about the case, not to discuss the case, allow anyone to discuss the case with you, not to read about the case, watch anything on TV or social media about the case or any of the people involved in the case, and we'll see everyone back Monday morning. Counsel and parties are still present. I reviewed the transcript of Mr. McStay's testimony, and at page 1979, he was asked, isn't it true that you also told Detective Tingley in that interview that my brother's best friend and chief engineer for the company hacked into Joseph's email and PayPal account? There was an objection of no foundation, which probably should have been sustained, but was overruled as impeachment. And his answer was, I must have if it's in the document. Again, the bottom line of that statement in the report is that's a belief or a conclusion that he has as opposed to something that the defendant told him. So I would still sustain the objection to it.
Well, now you're free. We'll let you know if there's something else pops up. So, what did I say? Steven, is this courtroom being used for anything tomorrow?
Don't believe so.
I just need to know if I have to completely extricate my property or not.
I would say no,
Okay.
but I've been wrong before.
Well, several times this week. Oh, sorry.